Hey, how's it going? You know when you make a dish that requires the whole eternity of vegetables, onions and celery and carrots, otherwise known as mirepoix? Well, afterwards, you have these items left over. And then you're deciding, well, what do I do with them? You can eat them with hummus or maybe some peanut butter. Anyway, I often have this dilemma where I have these left over and they kind of sit, and the carrots get used often and celery a little bit, but sometimes I throw things away and I absolutely hate food waste. So as a use it up video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the celery and the carrots, and then I'm going to add some tofu, and I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy Szechuan shredded tofu, celery, and carrot stir fry. But before I get on to the actual cooking, I want to show you this gadget I just got today. I literally just got this in the mail today. It's a vegetable shredder because I'm really terrible with knife skills. It's from Once for All, and I will be demoing this in this video. I got it from Amazon. It got delivered today, so this is the first time I'm going to be using it for cooking. And I'll leave a link for this particular product in the description of this video. The other item that I'm going to be using in this video, which I've used in other videos, is my tofu press. And I can also leave a link for this down in the description of this video. So what I've done here is I have taken a block of extra firm tofu or super firm tofu, and I dried it off with a paper towel. And so this tofu press opens like this from the inside. I always try to open it from the outside. And it has these rubber band things on the outside. Just take those off. And then I take the top out. It has this little tray. And, well, it's a tray with holes in to allow draining. And then this is the tray that catches the liquid. And so I put it in here, and then I put the block of tofu in. I'm going to put the press back on top, and then you just move down the rubber band. I'm going to put it to the bottom level, and then on both sides you have to do that to allow even distribution of the weight, of the pressure. And so then you just tighten it by pressing the levers on the inside. So I'm going to let this sit while I make the sauce for the stir fry. I'm going to start by adding 1/4 cup of gluten-free soy sauce, or you could use tamari. I'm putting that into a small bowl. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of dark sesame oil. You don't have to use dark. You can use the regular if you don't have it. When I say dark, I mean toasted sesame oil. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar and 1 tablespoon of chili crisp. Dig down to get the actual chilies. One teaspoon of maple syrup, just to add a little bit of sweetness. And I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of these Szechuan peppercorns. I'm going to actually grind them in a mortar and pestle, but this isn't optional. This is kind of a difficult thing to find, so if you cannot find this, just omit it because you have the chili crisps already. But since I have it, I'm going to add it. If you haven't had these before, they add a not only is it slightly spicy, but it has a numbing effect, and seriously, it slightly numbs your mouth. So I added these to the little mortar and pestle that I have here, and I'm just going to grind them up slightly. And I don't know, I think I'm just going to put in about maybe just the sprinkle of it, because I don't want it to be overwhelming in the sauce. But this is a traditional Szechuan ingredient. It should be good. So I'm just going to sprinkle this in here. Now comes the moment I've been waiting for. I'm going to use that vegetable chopper. So I'm going to use one really large carrot and 2 stalks of celery. I'm going to clean these and peel the carrot and then just cut off the ends of both, and so it's ready to go into the press. So the carrots and celery are ready to go. I'm going to go get the vegetable press, and I'm going to set up the setting to make kind of like little matchstick slices. Okay, I'm going to start with a carrot and see what happens here. I'm going to take the thicker one, put it in here. I guess you put this in here. And I start pressing. Well, that's pretty easy. Those are quite thick. So these would make nice French fries. I think I have this setting too thick, but I'm going to stick with this. Okay, well, this is definitely faster than me, or easier than me, trying to julienne it. Oh, I feel like such a novice chef here, but I do have these slices now. And I'm going to do the same with the celery now. All right, I put the celery inside, and I'm going to, this is much easier to press down because it's forgiving. The carrot was a little more difficult, although I do have another, I've got another carrot slice to do. Okay, let me try more here. This is actually fun. I think I would qualify for Worst Cooks of America, that show that used to be on. Okay. Okay, so this is the end result, and I'm going to go with it. It shredded it, and the carrots are quite thick. The celery got thinner, but it's going to work. What's good about this thing I just learned, and it has these little suction cups on the bottom, so it hasn't been sliding around, unlike when I use a cutting board, which slides around quite a bit. I should put a damp cloth underneath, I know. Now I'm going to grate about 1 teaspoon's worth of fresh ginger. Okay, this should be about good. I got this. I'm going to put it in a bowl here. Maybe just do a little bit more. Okay, I do have to break down here and chop up some garlic, or dice it rather, as best I can. I'm going to take about, I'd say, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, and then I'm going to add it to the ginger. Okay, so I'm going to get my tofu out. It's been in the press for about 20 minutes at least. And let me show you. It does, see, it collects the liquid, squeezes it out. It's still dripping. Oh well, this is already extra firm, so it's pretty dry, but I just want to get out some extra water. Okay, so I was going to use a box grater to shred this tofu, but I'm going to see what this vegetable press thing does to the tofu, because why not? I think it'll just shred it like it did with the carrots. Oh, it's just doing the same. Look at it, it's cutting it into slices. This is perfect. Oh, well, this is really fast. So I'm going to try it again. This is quite fun. I obviously like playing with gadgets. So Let me see. Okay. Yeah, this will work. So it shredded it. See? This is perfect. I'm sorry the lighting here is, it's getting dark outside. I'm making dinner, so I had to turn the light on. So now we're going to have a change of lighting in this filming. But this is about 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to add about maybe 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. I'm going to stir this up, and I'm going to add it to the sauce because I want the sauce to be slightly thicker to coat all of the tofu and the carrots and celery. For those who don't want or can't have corn, you can just skip this step, but your sauce is going to be thinner. But you could also use arrowroot powder or tapioca starch. That would work as well to thicken the sauce. So I'm just going to stir that in. Okay, I'm going to let that sit while I'm going to start sauteing the ginger and garlic. So I'm going to add just a little bit of, I'm using olive oil, to the wok, and then I'm going to add, now I'm going to add the ginger and garlic. I'm going to saute that just for about a minute. And then I'm going to add the vegetables. I'm going to add the vegetables first because the carrots will take slightly longer than the tofu to cook. Just add that for about 1 minute. Now I'm going to add the tofu and stir that around. I'm going to let everything get coated with the ginger and the garlic. And then after this starts to soften slightly, I'm going to add the sauce. Okay, this has been cooking, so now I'm going to add the Szechuan sauce. I'm going to have to stir everything together to make sure that the cornstarch and water is well incorporated. That looks nice. Looks quite good. Looks spicy. Every time I go out, when I have something Szechuan, it has this combination of carrots and celery, so I thought that would be perfect to use up some of my remaining carrots and celery. Ooh, this looks quite good. I'm going to turn down the heat. I'm going to turn it down and just let all the flavors blend for about maybe 2-3 minutes. Okay, I think I'm going to stop cooking because I like the carrots slightly crunchy. Okay, so I just dished up a plate of rice and I put on the Szechuan shredded tofu and carrot and celery stir fry on top. I've tasted it already. It's quite good. It has a slight heat from the Szechuan peppercorns and the chili crisp, but you also taste the slight saltiness from the soy sauce. You taste also the sesame oil as well as the ginger. I hope you've enjoyed this Use It Up video. If you have any suggestions for me for any food items that you typically have left over after making a certain recipe and you don't know how to use it, let me know your dilemma and I'll see if I can help you make a recipe out of what you have left over. Also, check out these next videos for more gluten-free and vegan recipe ideas.